we look at humanity today, we find that most people are unhappy. Why is it that Allah creates us with so much love and sends us to this world to find Him and promises us Jannah and gives us such beautiful role models, but we are still miserable? Life is not happy. We seem to be just endlessly struggling. We are unhappy. We have found a reason and someone to blame. Usually we have found a reason. We either blame our parents because when we were young they didn't give us opportunities, they didn't realize our potential, they didn't send us to university, they didn't do this for us, they didn't do that. Because it's easy to blame someone, right? Don't realizing our children will blame us as well. Or we blame our spouse. If I wasn't married to this person, I would have gone far in life, or this would have happened. Or we blame our children. If I didn't have children, I would have so much free time, I could have done this, I could have done that. Or we blame our boss, or we blame the country we live in, or we blame the system, or we blame the community, or we blame. In the end, we don't get anyone, then we blame Allah. We don't say it, but there is a resentfulness that if Allah wanted me to become such a great person, why did He not give me the opportunity? So we are constantly looking at immediate reasons and cause and effect and looking for someone who can take the blame for why we are unhappy and why we have not succeeded in life and attained that great ideals that we had from the time we were youth. But I want to suggest that the reason we are unhappy is not the apparent reason. The reason we are unhappy is because we have lost that connection and that touch and sense of connection to our origin and our source, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why Allah constantly tells us in the Quran that if you forget me, I will not lose anything, but you will harm yourselves. وَمَا ظَلَمُونَ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. They never did any injustice to us when they disobeyed us, but they were doing dhulm on their own selves. And that is where all the root of the unhappiness comes. That the moment you turn away from this remembrance of Allah, that total consciousness that everything cannot escape Allah is missing in our lives in a very active sense. He is so present that He appears absent. You are drowning in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you don't know that. So the idea that we are trying to get to is to find this light of consciousness, to find this connection, to wake up to this reality, so that we see, when we put aside our mind-made egoic selves and we don't identify with our thoughts and emotions and senses, and we look at it from the outside and we wake up to the beauty of this world, then life is beautiful, the universe is beautiful, death is beautiful, calamities are beautiful. You see the miracle of Allah in everything. You see the miracle of Allah when someone dies, you see the miracle of Allah when someone is born. You see the miracle of Allah when someone is rich, you see the miracle of Allah in poverty, you see the miracle of Allah in health, you see the miracle of Allah in sickness. And this is the maqam that Ibrahim alayhi salam had reached. That is why you see in the Quran when he talks about it, he attributes everything to Allah. وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينِ. And when I am sick, it is He who makes me well. He knows it is medicine that he eats, but he sees Allah even in that medicine. At every level he surrenders to Him. And when we lose this identity, then we are always unhappy, then we are always upset, then we just need an excuse, then everything irritates us. We are unhappy because of the mosquito that is buzzing around us. We are unhappy because there is traffic. We are unhappy because it is humid and hot today. On the flip side, when we find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then nothing annoys us. It's not because we now learn to control ourselves or we detach ourselves from everything else so that nothing can come and annoy us or make us unhappy, but it's because we are now connected to something deeper. We transcend the circumstances of life, the face value experiences and thoughts and emotions and sensory experiences no longer have the ability to control us. And so we rise above that, and now we are able to walk around as a being that is benevolent, that is compassionate towards humanity, that is filled with peace. There is so much peace within us then, that when we sit in the presence of others, we spread that peace and sense of oneness to others, and they are attracted to it. And that is why you see it is in our fitrah that we are attracted to people who are mystical, to people who are spiritual, people who are more connected to a higher being and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.